I want to talk today about our Sawstop Table Saw here. This is a very important piece of equipment, one of the most used in the classroom. One of the objects in the classroom is for you to know and understand all of the different component parts to this machine. So I'm going to real quick in this video go through what all the parts on the machine are so that you understand what you need to know for operation of this particular piece of equipment. So we will start out, of course, up top we have the table, and mounted to the table you will see the fence, which is this part here. This moves from the side, and you set the dimension that you want to cut the width of your board for. The fence is used to rip material down to a certain width. Likewise, right here we have what is called the miter gauge. Miter gauge is typically set at 90 degrees so that we can make cross cuts with it. But you can also adjust the miter gauge to make angled cuts, which are referred to as miter cuts, going through the wood as well. And that is our miter gauge. So I'm going to move this out of the way. You will see the miter gauge goes through these T-slots on both sides of the blade, depending on which side of the actual blade that you want to be working on. So underneath the blade, here we have the guard. This needs to be on the machine at all times. This guard protects your fingers, helps to avoid getting cut or hurt. A very important piece of this equipment is the guard. Likewise, as we remove the guard, you will see what is referred to as the splitter. This is the black piece of metal right here, goes over the blade. This is called the splitter. The purpose of the splitter, as the wood is going through and making the cut, a lot of times wood wants to move once it's cut, and the splitter helps to keep the wood apart so that it doesn't bind up the blade by squeezing in on itself. Right above here, these two little metal pieces, these are called anti-kickback pawls. The purpose of those go down. There's little spike points on them. Those are also part of the safety feature of this machine that allows the board to go underneath that and helps eliminate kickback with the saw blade. That anti-kickback pawl catches the wood and helps to avoid it being kicked out on the machine. Of course, you see the blade right here. We typically use combination blades. We'll talk more about that in a future video. This is called a throat plate. This goes down on the actual machine, covers up all of the internal mechanisms. This is a zero clearance throat plate. Goes right up next to the blade. Also a very important component as it keeps the wood. It allows your blade to have clearance to come up and allows the wood to pass over that safely. So we'll put that back on. We'll put our guard back on. That back in place. Notice down here, I will have you come to the front side here. This is the blade elevation hand wheel. First we loosen the central knob, and then this allows us to raise and lower the blade. So when we do that, we want the anti-kickback pawls to be up as we raise and lower the blade. Over on the right-hand side of this machine is another hand wheel. Same thing. This is our blade tilt hand wheel. This allows us to set the tilt angle of the blade anywhere from 0 to 45 degrees to take different types of cuts with that. And of course, to power the unit, the control switch is right here where you will turn the machine and turn the blade on and off with that. So those are the basic components of our Sawstop table saw here. All of these are parts that you need to know and be able to identify on this machine.